Hi, I'm Zad Scott, and I'm here to talk about my single, Put Some Christmas Music On, featuring Apropos on Behind the Song for Music of the Future. Put Some Christmas Music On is a single that I released at the beginning of November. It was written last year, actually, around Thanksgiving time. And by the time it was all polished up and written, I didn't have enough time to try to release it last Christmas. So I had actually the whole year to polish it and get it just the way that I wanted it for this Christmas. Um, the song is meant to be a song reminiscent of Christmases when you were young, and how Christmas music transports you back to your childhood when Christmas was magical. And so that was really my goal. How did it come to be? Well, I woke up one morning, like I said before, a little before Thanksgiving in 2023, with a line in my mind, and the line was, "Bing's White Christmas always makes me cry. It was Mama's favorite song." And I thought, well, gosh, that's a very that's a great line, because there's an imagery. It talks about in that short amount of time, it talks about that you love your mother and she's gone now, and it's quite a bit packed into one little statement. So I said I'm going to write a song based on that. So I proceeded, and in my mind's eye, it was about this old person that was in a wheelchair, wrapped in a old blanket, staring out a window, gray day, and reminiscing about their childhood during Christmas time, when Christmas music was put on. So I started writing it, and it's almost like a dirge. And my wife Therese mentioned to me, she goes, "Man, that's a really sad, depressing song." And I tried to defend it. I said, "Yeah, well, Christmas songs, there are sad Christmas songs like Blue Christmas and um, I'll Be Home for Christmas, those kinds of things." But I realized after she pointed that out to me that you don't have to be that old to reminisce about your childhood Christmases. So I picked up the tempo, I put it in a major key, and I proceeded to write it. Now, when I wrote it, I was writing the music on a piano at the same time that I was developing the lyrics. I am not a great piano player, but I recently acquired one, and I was trying to challenge myself to write the song on piano. And it was in E flat, so it was a little more difficult for me as a scrappy pianist to write a song in E flat. And I wanted to have kind of like for lack of a better term, kind of jazz voicings once in a while, an augmented here, a major seventh, and just to kind of get that feel of those old Christmas songs, like White Christmas, or the Chestnut song, the Christmas song that is called. So I had all these things in my mind. I had what I wanted the song to be about. I knew how kind of I wanted it to sound, and so I ended up just putting it together, and so it's kind of like broken into 4 different sections, and each it's verse, verse, bridge, verse. There's really no chorus. There's the tagline at the end of each verse, but the opening verse, I made it so that it tells you what the song's about. How Christmas music takes me back to my childhood. Just hearing it takes me back there, and in fact, it makes me a kid again. The second verse gets into a little more of painting a picture of what those Christmases might have looked like, and it talks about Mama talked about Jesus as we decorated the tree. Daddy held me up so I could put the angel on top, and I'm very pleased with the emotion and the visualization of the lyrics. As much as I like the music to it, I think that the lyrics are what make the song strong. And then on the bridge, I used my line that I woke up with in my head back last Thanksgiving, but I kind of made it shorter. But I said, White Christmas always makes me cry. It was Mama's favorite song. And I start listing songs through that section. So I'm talking about, what songs what songs bring me back to my childhood. So I talk about White Christmas, Rudolph, Jingle Bells, Silent Night, and how they all take me right back on this magical ride back to my childhood, make it like I'm a kid again. And then the final verse, the song breaks down to this melancholy kind of absent kind of feel, and it's in a new key. Everything cuts out but the piano, and it now takes you to present day. And you could think of it as that old person wrapped in a blanket, or you could be just somebody that's away from home. And but that verse talks about no mistletoe is hanging, no tinsel on the tree. The weather doesn't call for snow, but that's all right with me. Just put some Christmas music on, and the magic ride begins. It's the miracle of Christmas, and I'm a kid again. So it starts out melancholy, but it's full of hope and also visualizations, which I think that was critical to the song being so well accepted. And then, like I said, I during that past year, writing it last Christmas, basically, I felt like it was finished around February. But that entire next year, it was always in the back of my mind, and I always, when I write, I say I practice the 3 R's: rewrite, rewrite, and rewrite. And I do. I mean, I was tweaking things right up to the moment it was being recorded. But when I finally got to that point, the recording, so I knew that I had a great song, a great lyric, and the music was appropriate and good. It was solid. Everything was solid about this song, and I didn't want to get in the way of its success. So I actually contracted some musicians down in Nashville, and I sent them an MP3 of my rough demo, and they brought me back this, what you would hear now when you hear it. It's really a kind of a magical representation of Christmas. It's got sleigh bells. I didn't play much on the song. I did play sleigh bells, and I played a couple of little incidental keyboard parts on it. But but they sent it back, and it was definitely Christmassy sounding, kind of like a country old pop jazzy Christmas thing. It was like everything I wanted it to be. So it was great. And then I brought it up to I live here in Michigan, and Chuck Alkazian, who is a lead producer and engineer and owns Pearl Sound Studios, which is located in different parts of the country. There happens to be one of those, his home studio. When I say home, his home base studio, it's a state-of-the-art studio, is right in my backyard in Canton, Michigan. So I, by chance, hooked up with him. I said, hey, I got this song. I had it recorded down in Nashville, but I needed a good mix on it. And Chuck I couldn't believe how well accepted I felt. He took me under his wing like he called me Danny. My name is Dan. I go by Zad, but he was calling me Danny, and it's like my big brother or something. And he walked me through the mixing of it. We brought the MP3s in from my DAW into his Pro Tools, and we worked on it, and we brought my good friend Apropos to sing it. So again, I'm only going for the best in every aspect of it. Apropos came into the studio under Chuck's direction, and so Apropos, he's an unbelievable vocalist. He kind of I would say probably his the musician, the singers that he looks up to, his inspirations would be like Marvin Gaye. So he's got that really nice leathery bluesy voice that I just love, and I think a lot of people do. But Chuck brought out another part of his vocal that I'd never heard before. He had him sounding like Nat King Cole, Luther Vandross, and I'm like, wow, it was like, it was magical. It really was magical what he got Apropos to do. And Apropos loved it, and everybody loved it. So the final recording was set to go. Oh, and we have some young kids laughing in the song to add that aesthetic of being a kid again. So anyway, then it came time to come up with what we call a lyric video, which is basically the song's lyrics with imagery in a video that represents what the song is about. So I found a guy, I had never known him before, but he produced this video that brought tears to my eyes, and it kind of summed up the song perfectly. It brings me back to my childhood, and I would say if you're 35 or older, 30 or older, you'll get the essence of what's going on in that song and the video. He just knocked it out of the park. So my goal was achieved. I had, like I said, I wanted to write. I knew I had written a solid song, and I didn't want anything to get in the way of its success. So I got the best musicians, the best producer, engineer, best singer, and now the best video. So it's all there. So what I would love for everyone to do is go out and at least check out the video. And if you love it, share it with your friends and family. You can stream the song on any platform, any well-known platform. Add it to your Christmas list this Christmas season, and that's it. And you can find me on my YouTube channel at Zad Scott Music, and I'm also available on Instagram and Facebook as Zad Scott. So I'm glad you got a chance to, or I had a chance to be a part of this program, and that I was able to share my story with it. It's a story I love to tell. So that's all I have, and I just wish all of you a Merry Christmas, and hope to talk to you again soon. Goodbye.